You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. It's also going to take them working with mayors across the country. Joining us right now is Karen Weaver, the former mayor of Flint, Michigan, who's now the interim executive director of the African American Mayors Association. On this very issue here, Karen, this is where the president is going to have to also enlist these mayors. He needs them trumpeting, this happened in our city because of that particular bill. This happened. And again, President Obama was, Biden talked about how he was all about humility. No, we don't need to do all of that sort of stuff. But that's how you allow the other side to frame you. Everybody, all the people, they saved Elkhart, Indiana, and hell, them white folks there still went Republican, where Obama should have been there saying, if it wasn't for me, y'all broke asses wouldn't even be here. I mean, sometimes you got to go ahead and make it plain to the folk who saved your butt.
You're exactly right, and thank you for having me. You are exactly right. You do have to make it plain, and you have to spell it out and let people know what you have done. And mayors are a great avenue for making that happen because, it happens locally, and mayors know what's going on. They are the pulse of the city and what is happening and what we need. And so who better to work with than mayors? When you want to make things happen, when you need a voice, when you need a platform, when you need someone to trumpet and say what you've been doing and be that microphone, mayors are the ones that can make that happen for you. So you're absolutely right that Biden needs mayors at the table and mayors saying what is going on and what has happened and why this is important.
Speaking of this particular bill, is really going to help lots of cities who were economically distressed as a result of COVID-19. I'm sure your organization is quite happy about that.
We're quite happy about that because that is so many cities that African-American mayors lead, and we need this relief bill. I mean, when you look at what is going on in cities, people are hurting, people are crying out, and this is what, we've been needing this relief bill, and it's high time that it happened. I mean, because there's money in there. There's money in there for small businesses. There's money in there for education. There's money in there for childcare. We're talking about getting schools open and opening them up safely. There is money for that. There is money for seniors, and the list goes on and on. We're looking at health equity. There's money in there for those kinds of things, and we're talking about a pandemic that has disproportionately impacted Black and brown people. We have died at higher rates. We have been sicker at higher rates, and so this relief plan is, we've been waiting for this. And when you look at other things, let's talk about tracking this and having access to the vaccine. All of these things are in this bill, and so we need this. You're absolutely right. And this is very important to the African American Mayors Association. And that's been one of the priorities that we've been working on since this hit. We may have gone virtual, but we haven't stopped the work, and we haven't stopped being a voice and convening African American mayors and meeting with the White House and talking with Vice President Kamala Harris and saying, here are our list of priorities. Here are the things that we need, and here's how this helps us.
What advice would you give when President Biden starts traveling around the country touting this particular legislation? Because clearly Republicans are saying, oh, they're bankrupting us. This is liberal overreach. This is them with their wish list for all of their big city liberal mayors.
It's not a wish list. It's a necessary list. It's a needs list, and it's a needs list for people to live the way people deserve to live. We're talking about the health and well-being of people. That's what this is about. It's about the health and well-being, and he needs to talk to mayors. I'm not saying don't meet with governors, because you have to meet at the state level, but you make sure that things get to the cities, make sure they get to the municipalities, and they don't get hung up at the state level, and talk to mayors. Because like I said, we are feet on the ground. We know the pulse of the people. We know what our communities need, and we know it better than other elected officials because we live with the people. We're not separated. We go to the grocery store and we see them. We go to church, we see them. We walk down the street, we see the people, and we're living what they're living. And so working with mayors is imperative if you want to be successful.
All right. Karen Weaver, first of all, you're Interim Executive Director for the African American Mayors Association. What are y'all plans for the coming year?
We have a lot of plans for the coming year. We're trying to, we're doing things in a virtual manner. But like I said, we have not stopped. We have not missed a beat. Our priorities, of course, include health. It includes infrastructure. It includes criminal justice. It includes education, and pulling mayors together to say, what are the needs? How do we continue to lift and amplify your voices and help you expand your executive capacity for your cities? Those are what our priorities are. We want to continue to work with our partners at the White House and let them know what's going on and how they can be helpful to cities, whether we're large cities or small cities. We represent over 500 African-American mayors. I mean, that's a large group of mayors, and we're looking to make that even bigger. So, we want to continue to lift the voice and make sure that African-American mayors have access to resource and best practice and are able to, like I said, amplify their voice and let people know what we need. I mean, the time is now. The time is now. We are not going to stop being a voice for African-American mayors. We're not going to stop talking about what we need because, we face different challenges. I mean, as mayors, we all face similar challenges, but as an African-American mayor, there's an added layer of challenge that we face. I mean, you know that. And so we're going to continue to make sure we're at the table, that our voices are heard for not just ourselves, but for the people that we represent. And get the resources to our mayors, make sure they have what they need so they can do the best job possible. But like I said, I mean, housing, that's an issue. Health equity, that's an issue. Criminal justice, infrastructure, those are issues. Economic empowerment, those are the things that we're working on and we're going to continue to work on as the African American Mayors Association.
All right then, Karen, we sure appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have that you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.